flip it to 210. Washington thinks him being on this peninsula is a great spot. He used it as an opportunity. I'm gonna attack. So he plans out everything. And if you remember, one of our allies now is the French. They are helping out. So what are the French doing right now to help us out here with this Yorktown situation? What are the French doing? Matthew?
Bringing their ships.
They're bringing their ships, and what are they doing with their ships? What are the French doing with their ships? Katie?
They're making so the British can't get supplies.
Yes, they're setting up a naval blockade and using their naval ships, their naval fleet, to block Chesapeake Bay. And they're blocking them from receiving any supplies from either New York or Britain. And they're making it so that they can't escape by ship either. So prevented them from receiving supplies and from escaping. Now, since the French are helping us out on water, Washington is out, he's on land. And he's also getting help from the French, too, on land. He's getting help from General Rochambeau, because he's joined the army now, and he's helping out as well. And Washington, on land, he's going to start to come towards Yorktown. And what direction is he coming from? Max, what direction is George Washington coming from?
The north.
He's coming from the north with Rochambeau. So they're coming from the north. And they're going to trap Cornwallis on this peninsula. And Washington had enough men to do this because the French had decided to help us. And they had the French fleet. They had French men. So it was a good place for things to be. Yeah, I know. So now they're starting to head south. When they get there, we're having a battle. Yes?
Yeah, aren't they expecting us to give them land?
Give us land. Give them land? No. The British? Or the French?
French.
Yeah. Well, they're going to try to see if they can, but they won't. And we have a battle here called the Battle of Yorktown. At this battle, he died. Maybe write the rest of it down so you can type it later. You should just write it down now so you can type it later. Battle of Yorktown. Americans and French, they bombard the heck out of Cornwallis. They got bombs coming from the sea. They've got bombardments coming from land. It's just going crazy. Crazy cannon fire. It's just buildings are falling down, and Yorktown is just being destroyed. So what does this force Cornwallis to do? Paige, what does this force Cornwallis to do? Okay. What's it force Cornwallis to do, Paige? What do they force Cornwallis to do? Austin? Surrender. So on October 19th of 1781, Cornwallis has surrendered his force of 8,000 men. Obviously, because Yorktown's the last major battle, but because of slow communication during this time period, some fighting continued. Right? When the British Prime Minister heard the news that the war was over, he was happy. Finally, it's over. This led to a lot of British leaders kind of either losing their job, most of them forced to resign because of what happened. And they started to work on a treaty, which we will talk about next section, the treaty of and what each side gained or lost out of it. All right? Questions on the end of the war and guerrilla fighting? All right.